How's that? Is that better? Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning everybody. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and after following in Mark's footsteps, what can I say? Hopefully I'll be able to give you some good answers and keep you entertained as much as Mark does. So yeah, please feel free to continue sending your questions through to questions@WildEarth TV, hashtag Safari Live. Yeah, ask me pretty much, not pretty much anything you want, but yeah, anything about nature, see what I can do to answer your questions for you. And yeah, a bit about myself first. Okay, yeah, as I was just about to say, yeah, okay, I've joined WildEarth. This is my first time with the WildEarth project, and it's a fantastic experience to be here. It's just such a brilliant place to be, working with such dedicated, hard-working people such as Will Fox, Graham, Peter Pretorius and Hayden, Mark Biner and Scott as well, and all the cameramen like Jason, Brian and Liam. They're all a fantastic group of people, such a pleasure to work with. And I have to admit, I'm learning an absolute lot a ton whilst I'm here. Been in Africa now for pretty much nearly a year, and the amount of, I can't stress enough, the amount I'm learning on this job is a phenomenal experience. Sitting around the fireplace in the night, or around the dinner table on the night time, talking with Mark, hearing about his experiences, it's such a pleasure. I was actually thinking about this sort of a bit of an analogy the other day, where people have this imaginary dinner party where they have celebrities that would actually come, or they would like to come to their dinner table, and basically have a chat, have dinner with them. And I had to revise this list because now I actually think Mark Weiner would be one of these superb people to actually have round for dinner, because the stories that he tells, the tales that he weaves, it's mesmerising really to hear what he has to say. Unfortunately, the rain has started again. I was actually going to make a bit of a joke before starting the drive this morning, just to say that we're no longer in South Africa. We've moved the drive to England, because that's where I've spent most of my time growing up in the UK, in Yorkshire, actually. So if there is anybody from Yorkshire watching, hello. Yeah, so I'm pretty much used to this wet, cold weather. Unfortunately, we can't really be going for a drive in it as much as I'd like to. The equipment might get a bit wet. But yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to send them through, and I will do my best to answer them. Even if Mark has any questions, he's getting comfortable next to me, which could put me in for a rough ride here.
No. But I'll be off camera and I'll maybe say one or two things. But I had to sit in the car because I said earlier how magic it is to be barefooted when it's wet, but my feet are now too wet and cold. So I just want to let my feet dry for a bit, get out of the wind. So I'm just sitting next to the driver's seat. Oh,
okay. I think there is a question from Brian. Good morning, Stephanie on Twitter. Thank you for your question. I will be assisting with some of the drives, yes. Predominantly when people need a bit of a break, I'll be basically being their respite. While Scott's away at his wedding in Cape Town, I'll be taking over Scott's drives for him. But yeah, I will be doing some of the drives and taking you guys round the Juma Narrowfins reserves and seeing what we can find and looking for the animals. So yeah, I will be doing some of the drives, yes, definitely. And I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I've been... Sorry, is that Christy on Twitter? So I think, yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, Christy on Twitter. Where I'm from, it's a bit of a long story, really. I was born in Toronto in Canada many moons ago, and then was relocated to the north of England in the UK, a place called Carlisle. lived there for a few years, and then predominantly spent the majority of my youth growing up in York. So I do actually probably classify myself more as a Yorkshireman more than anything else. So maybe that's why Will Fox gave me the job so he could have a fellow Yorkshireman on the team. So yeah, pretty much consider myself a Yorkshireman more than anything else. So nice question, thank you. Okay, good question from Rava in Arizona. Good morning to you, or good evening. Do I have a favourite animal? I would have to say, this is probably dodging the question a little bit. A favourite animal would be an animal that is acting in its natural habitat. It's happy, it's doing its own thing. Rather than any specific species, an animal that's able to live its life in its own way, doing it what comes naturally to it. Whether that is as like a Labrador as a pet, or a cat, or even an impala, or any of the birds. So yeah, it is a bit of an ambiguous answer, but any animal that is behaving naturally is probably my favourite animal. So yeah, that's quite a nice question there. Thank you.
What about honey badger?
Yeah, last night after we finished the drive, we went to power down one of the repeaters. I've been here in and out of Africa for probably about 5 or 6 years now, and I've never seen a honey badger. But last night, finally got my chance to see honey badgers. We switched off one of the signal masts on the way home as we were racing past to try and beat the storm so we didn't get too wet. And out from the undergrowth scurried not one, but 2 honey badgers, two sub-adult honey badgers just scampering down the road ahead of us. Fantastic sighting, and I think they wouldn't basically get off the road for about 100 metres, 150 metres. Fantastic sighting, and it was a superb first experience to see them. They were just such lovely bundles of fluffiness, I guess. These 2 little honey badgers, they were really lovely. But yeah, that was my first honey badger experience, which was quite a special one for me. Okay. Sorry, was that Billy? Okay, thank you. I'm just going to adjust this mic a bit. Sorry. Billy in Florida is asking what I would like to see most on this drive. Ooh. Interesting animal behaviour, I guess. Ethology, new experiences with the animals, seeing new and interesting things that the animals can do, just different displays of behaviour. Yesterday, when I was learning some of the roads, I went up to Buffelshoek Dam, and I was fortunate enough to see the breeding herd of elephants that Mark saw yesterday morning come down to the waterhole. There was a fairly sizable pod of hippos already in there, so I just thought I'd see what happens in here. I mean, obviously I've seen hippos and elephants interact before, but I was just curious to see, because there was quite a lot of young elephants in this group. So I was just a bit curious to see how they would push their luck with this sizable pod of hippos. So there's quite a lot of nice interaction where the elephants got into the dam, splashing around basically like children would in a swimming pool. But there was one particular naughty boy in this elephant group who was kind of throwing his weight around a little bit. He got a bit of a ticking off from some of the older females. And whilst the rest of the herd left, this sub-adult male was actually sulking in the water. He was having a bit of a hissy fit, throwing his ears around, splashing around, ducking under the water. So that was very interesting animal behaviour to actually watch, which is pretty much what I hope to see most on this drive. Is just new animal behaviour, which kind of, just something that would bring a smile to my face, and hopefully to your faces as well. So yeah, new and interesting animal behaviour is probably pretty much on my list of things to see. But if I was hoping to see one particular animal, I have to say I've got a weakness for cheetah. I love seeing cheetah in the wild. They are pretty spectacular in my opinion. Uh-oh, okay. Okay, I've had a bit of a curveball thrown at me. Unfortunately, birding isn't one of my strong points. I am still learning. RC in the Netherlands was asking about the willow warblers. She's heard them around the Buffelshoek Dam area and is wondering if they're still around. I might have to ask for some assistance on this one, I'm afraid.
I haven't seen one, but willow warbler is a very difficult bird to find. I think one of the it's a challenge. I think Kwasi is throwing out one huge challenge because a willow warbler is not an easy bird. I mean, you'd think that it would be just an LBJ or one of the to actually stop and find a willow warbler takes exceptional birding.
Okay. Well, maybe it's something I can do in between drives. Is go up to Buffelshoek Dam, have a listen for the call, and if it is around, just basically set up a bit of a camp for a couple of hours, and see if I can take a picture of one for you. And if I am successful, if you are still watching, if you just tweet or email in again, just remind me. I'll keep the picture on my smartphone or on my camera, and then I can show you a picture of it if we do see it. So yeah, apologies that my birding skills aren't up to standard of Mark's, or probably even Scott's as well. But yeah, it's something I'm quite passionate about learning a bit more of.
Well, I think you made a point there. You're from Yorkshire.
Yeah. Okay. I think
it takes time.
Yeah.
I think if you'd been born in South Africa, you wouldn't have had an excuse.
Yeah. True.
So you're a recent transplant.
Invasive species.
We can make allowances for that. Time, Alex. You're on your path to get there. It's not something you can speed up. It's something that just happens over time, and it's I suppose like many things in life. The more you do it, the more you're at it, the better it becomes, or the more you accumulate.
And I think one of the main things as well, if you have a passion for something and the drive to actually understand and see things, I think that's one of the most important things to have, especially when you're coming to a place like South Africa and doing a job. Well, not just South Africa, but doing a job where you are working outside, you are working with nature, you are working with wildlife. You do need a passion to actually continue learning, to expand your knowledge and to expand your understanding of the world around you. And it's not something, as Mark says, it's not something that comes overnight. It does take time. And I don't think you can ever stop learning in circumstances such as this. I'm pretty sure that there's things that a lot of the great presenters and naturalists around the world and wildlife people, I'm sure they're still learning every time they go out and see things. So,
the day you think that there's nothing to learn is the day you might as well dig a hole and climb in it, because then, I think everybody, even the likes of David Attenborough, the people that we might admire because they're the wise older crowd, Jane Goodall, even Jane Goodall could probably learn a few things about chimpanzees, even though she's been with them. So yeah, nature is that thing that there's never a day when you could stop learning. I think that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because there's always something new. There's always there's always learning curves. Especially when it comes to ethology, especially the behavioural side of things. Seeing how not only animals behave in different countries, the same animal, how elephants or lions do things here, as opposed to say up in Botswana where it's wet in the Okavango Delta, that sort of thing. But the same animals, how their behavior changes from day to day.